FIFA World Cup 2022 official theme song is out. Yeah. And there is this one song, Hayya Hayya, which means Better Together, that was performed by Davido, Trinidad Cardona, and Aisha. It evokes such a pleasant memory in me. I mean, it reminds me of back then in high school when I met my high school sweetheart. Once or twice in life, you'll meet with someone who resonates so well with you that you will begin to believe that your happiness is secured as you both look better together. And suddenly, that moment of sorrow comes when you have to let them go, believing if truly they are yours, they'll find their way back to you. That is exactly my case. Joyful moments in life can sometimes be far and few between for a kid raised in Africa. And of the few that have come my way, I would forever cherish that moment when I paid for an all-expense trip to Qatar via Emirates Airlines and sent the ticket as a parcel to my girlfriend of 5 years, Jamila Belabi. My name is Jamal Fakani from Morocco, a North African country, and this is my story. So growing up, I grew up in the village of Risani, and Risani had nothing fanciful about it. It was just a small town notable for its leather and goat skin trading. However, there was just one thing I loved as much as my mom. Football. I lived and breathed football. I mean, I could go hours on end without eating as long as I am playing the beautiful game. And in our village back then, we weren't rich enough to own game consoles like everyone practically does right now. So we had to settle for hard, fun-filled football every evening at the village square. Luckily for me, I had parents who didn't frown at my constant engagement every evening to football. They took interest in my development. My dad, as a matter of fact, bought me a leather ball on my 10th birthday. And every Saturday evening, when he comes back from the evening prayer at the Central Mosque, he makes out time to hang out with me, playing the goalkeeper as I practiced shooting. My constant early practice early on in life later paid off when I got into senior high because I got selected to train with the school football team. And joining the school football team is the dream of every boy in Chinook High School. I mean, the boys who made up the school football team had so much influence, they command respect and practically get any girl they want. Woo! What more, they travel around town in the school's team bus, playing against other schools, and that affords them the opportunity to meet with other pretty girls around the country too. Every male student who loved football and was just about entering into senior high had just one goal: break into the school team early enough, because that gives you enough time to enjoy the attention and glamour of being a student pro. I mean, a student professional football player. And I wasn't any different. So come on, I was a kid and I love football. I trained very hard every evening after school. I practiced my speed test, worked at improving my dribbling and shooting in general. And Allah be thanked, I made it into the school team in my second year of high school. Guys, life in the school football team is totally a different atmosphere altogether. The glitz and glamour was overwhelming. The attention and love from other students was an enchanting experience. I really enjoyed every bit of it. And I remember it was my final year in senior high. Things were beginning to get very interesting. And very soon, the final board exam for the first school leaving certificates will be written. But before then, we had to play the school league cup. This is where my life spiced up. But the SLC, the school league cup, SLC as it was formerly called, was a competition that involved all senior high schools in Morocco. It was played between schools in the same villages, and then when the best emerges, we meet with the schools in the same district, and then from there we meet in schools in the same cities, and then the schools in the same state till the best high school in the whole country emerges. You can see it was really a big competition that was held dear to the heart by every senior high school student. And Chinook High was unknown in the league. Yeah, my school was totally unknown. We were not a force to be reckoned with. Risani village was virtually obscure, a tiny dot in the map. Everyone knows we were in the competition just to make up the number. They also ran. Nobody expected anything from us, and they were right to feel that way, because normally the schools who end up winning the school league cup are those schools in major cities like Rabat, Casablanca, Fez, and the like. They were more exposed and were better equipped than schools in the villages who rather played with just strength and grit and lack a flair or pattern to their game compared to their counterparts in the big city. But guess what? When the competition started, we surprised even ourselves. Like magically, we began to work our way through the ranks. Our rigorous hours of practice every single day paid off. We saw off numerous challenges and emerged the best school in Risani village. We had begun to turn heads and draw attention to ourselves and our village. The question on the lip of everyone who followed high school football was, who are these guys from Risani? We went on knocking out every team we faced till we got to the final. And that left us with just one more hurdle before claiming an unlikely glory. Who would have thought we could go this far? I mean, nobody gave this team from the trenches a chance. With limited finances and not even the best players in the league or a standard coaching crew, we were just a group of boys with a fire-branded determination molded into laser-sharp focus by a highly disciplined coach. We had worked our way into the final, and right now, we have only one obstacle: the current league cup holders, Bissama College from Casablanca. To Bissama College, we were obviously the underdog. The match was well publicized. That weekend, the media had it on the back page of every newspaper. It was even discussed during TV program conversation. Bissama College were strongly favourite. Everyone knew that. I mean, they are currently the League Cup holders and had virtually breezed their way into the final, trashing every single team they met. Interestingly, the match was the most talked about thing that weekend. Words on the lips of everyone was, does Chinook High School have what it takes to withstand being crushed by the Bissama Elephants? Remembering it, man, I feel goosebump already in my body. Yeah, the match was scheduled for Saturday 4 p.m. My school team boss arrived Casablanca on Thursday morning to give us enough time to prepare for the match. After a warm-up training session that lasted throughout Thursday afternoon, we were allowed to take the evening off and relax in our hotel rooms. For some reasons I couldn't understand, I don't know, but I felt like looking around. So I strolled out of my room and down to the hotel lobby just to, look around and see what Casablanca had to offer. I was in one of the biggest cities in the country, Casablanca, a place I have never been to before. I wanted to feast my eyes around and see nice stuffs, things I would recount to my siblings when I get home. So I strolled around the hotel lobby gazing at the fine chandeliers, the perfectly dressed waitresses, and everything fancy that caught my eye. That was when I first met Jamila. Wow. I stood transfixed. I gazed at her. She wasn't putting on a jihad, so I was able to see her very beautiful face. From a distance, I could judge that her skin was so smooth and supple. Her dreamy eyes shone like the starry night. I stood, jaw dropped, staring at her until I realized she was actually walking towards me. Oh my god, what? I composed myself quickly and looked on expectantly till she came around. Hi, salam alaikum, she greeted. Alaikum salam, I replied. My name is Jamila Belabi and I know you're Jamal Fakani, she says, smiling so cutely. I stared at her in shock. How did you know that? I asked, mesmerized by her beautiful eyes. Come on, everyone knows you, Jamal, captain of Chinook High School football team, she said. Oh wow, I replied. Yeah, she grinned. Can I buy you a drink? I'm not sure if I am allowed to drink, I replied her. Remember, I have a big game on Saturday and I am not even supposed to be down here, I said, looking left and right. Alright then, I better not waste your time. I only introduced myself to you because I have a tiny request to make, she said, looking straight into my eyes and holding my gaze. A tiny request? Huh, okay. So what is it? I asked, puzzled. I want you to beat my school, Binsama College, on Saturday. Wait, what? What did you say? Wow, this is interesting, I said, smiling and looking away. In my head, I was thinking, why would anyone want their school beaten by a rival opponent? I'm surprised, I announced, looking back at her. Why would you want us to beat your own school? Aren't you supposed to be their biggest fan? My confusion was clearly pronounced on my face. Look, she said, Binsama College is my school and I love my school. But there is this bet we made among my class girls and the football team. And that bet is, if my school wins the cup, I will have to go on a date with the school football team captain and be his girlfriend. Wait, you mean Yuri Muhammad? I interjected. Yes, Yuri Muhammad, she concurred, looking sad. And you don't want that? I asked, surprised at the fact that anyone could turn down being a football captain's girlfriend. Come on, like that's the biggest and highest privilege for girls in my school. They would literally die for it. No, I don't want that. I don't like him at all, she said, stomping her foot on the ground for emphasis. I would rather go on a date with you than be with him. In fact, I'll be your girlfriend if you can help me beat my school. You're my only chance of escaping this mess I've gotten myself into. Please help me, she said, placing her tender palm on my knee. Guys, I felt a jolt of electric bolts shoot up my body. Her fingers felt so soft and silky to the touch. I was reeling from what I had just heard. Am I dreaming? This very beautiful girl offering to be my girlfriend if only we could beat Binsama College. Come on. This is too good to be true. Okay, let's see how it goes, I said, still finding it difficult to believe. She was simply too beautiful for all this to be real. Is that a yes? She asked, her face brightening up. I don't know. You know, the school is a reigning champion and currently unbeaten since the tournament began. It will be very difficult considering the fact that we are underdogs and they are the clear favorites. But I'll give it my best shot. I managed to smile. She flashed a beautiful smile. I'll take that as a yes then, she said excitedly, rising to her feet. Or maybe, I muttered, unsure of the possible outcome of the match on Saturday. Man, what have I gotten myself into? You know what? She said suddenly. Let it serve as a constant reminder that the only person stopping me from being yours is you. Her hands went behind the necklace as she unhooked a shiny necklace, which had a gold-plated J as its pendant. Unhooking it, she came closer and fastened them around my neck, tucking the pendant underneath my t-shirt. My nostrils caught a whiff of the fragrance of her perfume. I closed my eyes as I breathed it in, cherishing the feel of it around my brain. And I'll hold on to this, she continued, lifting my left hand and winking as she unfastened my wristwatch and strapped it around her wrist. It seemed a little too big for her, but she grinned, loving the feel of it around her wrist. Wow, I gushed, unsure of what else to say. Yeah, she giggled. Alright then, future boyfriend. See ya at the game on Saturday, she said, drawing closer to me and then kissing me on the cheek with her white fully standing on her toes. She waved her well-manicured feminine fingers in such a delightful, girly manner as she backed away and was soon lost in the crowd. Wow, that was epic, I gushed, pulling out the necklace and tumbling over the pendant. The emblazoned J suddenly began to feel special to me the more I stared at it. My name is Jamal. J for Jamal, right? I smiled. Wait, didn't you say her name is Jamila? Now, boy, this is something. I grinned as I tucked the pendant back into my shirt and slid into the nearest elevator before I'll be declared missing by the team. All through the night, my biggest thoughts were on how to make Jamila perfectly and permanently mine. If only we could just beat Bisama College. God, if only. But that would be like passing the camel through a needle's eye. Friday's training saw me in a frenzy. I trained like a beast while wearing the necklace under my neck and concealing it under my training vest. Even when we had a timeout session, I stayed back on the pitch. Right now, there was more than just a trophy at stake. To me, it became a game of loser loses it all. I was playing for more than just a trophy. I was playing for love. Saturday came. The tension on the pitch packed a punch. The noise, the fanfare, the electrifying atmosphere, it was just too much to take in. I mean, it felt as if the Moroccan national team was playing the AFCON final on home soil, whereas it was only high school students playing the League Cup final. The game started in earnest. It was fierce, trust me. Both teams looked evenly matched. Ours was a defensive style of play. We understood that we were no match for Bisama College, and thus the best strategy was to sit back and defend and then launch fast counter-attacks. The plan actually worked. We played solidly for most of the games, attacking cautiously and falling back just in time to defend in mass. When we had just defended the corner in the 79th minute of the game, Saeed, our left back, launched the ball forward with a powerful kick toward the center of the field where I stood with a couple of defenders from Bisama College. I trapped the ball, did a quick turn and sprinted forward, catching the defenders off guard. I ran like my whole life was on the very line. I mean, the noise from the crowd pouring me on. I could feel the veins in the muscle pumping hard as I surged toward the goalpost. Coming face to face with the towering goalkeeper, I dragged my left leg backward, ready to unleash a powerful shot, when all of a sudden I saw myself on the ground, wincing in pain because my ankle hurt badly. I had just been clipped. The referee wasted no time in blowing his whistle. He issued the culprit a red card and pointed to the spot for a penalty. As I placed the ball on the spot, it dawned instantly on me that the destiny of my village, city, and school rested on my shoulders. The stadium fell silent. A hush descended on the whole fans in the stadium. This kick could be the deciding factor in the history of a little village. I mean, this could mean everything in my life, including Jamila. My teammates were huddled together close to one another. I could hear them whisper prayers to Allah. The pressure was massive. The goalkeeper of Bisama College made himself large against the goalpost. He was flailing his arm up and down. I could feel my confidence seeping out of me. I was sure Jamila was somewhere in the crowd watching, her hands over her mouth with bated breath. This could be the one moment that could decide if she would stay stuck with Yuri Mohammed or have an adventure with me, a kid from an unknown village. 1,001 thoughts crossed my mind at that instant. I took a deep breath and decided to opt for raw power instead of placement. As soon as the referee blew his whistle, I took a vicious rising shot. The ball moved swiftly and settled into the top left corner in the blink of an eye. The goalkeeper stood rooted to the spot. The ball moved too fast before he could even make a move. The stadium erupted in thunderous celebration. It seemed as if the whole stadium was rooting for us, the underdog from an unknown Risani village. Guys, at the restart, Bisama College threw everything at us. The attacks were coming in quick succession, and we defended with all our lives till 90 minutes was over, including the 5-minute extra time. As soon as the whistle went off, signaling the end of the match, the stadium erupted again in tremendous jubilation. An unknown school from the village of Risani had done it against all odds. Man, it was epic. As the celebrated hero, I was lifted up and thrown high up by my teammates. The next day, as we prepared to leave Casablanca for Risani, I scanned frantically for Jamila, hoping to see her one last time. I ran down to the hotel lobby and searched around, constantly distracted by congratulatory greetings from admirers around. Everyone was trying to share me and congratulate me for the victory of yesterday. I looked around, I couldn't see Jamila. I began to fear that I was never going to see her again. While we were checking out of the hotel, I spotted her running towards me. She ran into my arms as I embraced her. She thanked me for saving her from Yuri Mohammed. I smiled. But wait, does this mean I am officially now your boyfriend? I asked, still unsure of our deal. Yes! She exclaimed excitedly, her eyes twinkling brightly. Woohoo! I shouted, excited as she giggled. We got a few stares from folks around who were wondering what was happening. Hey, that's my number. Call me when you get home, okay? She said. Oh, sure, come on, I will. I replied, grinning from ear to ear. Alright, boo, run up. The team boss is waiting for you, she said, kissing me lightly on the lips. I smacked my lip. She laughed. Her sonorous laughter filled my heart with joy. I was the happiest 18-year-old in the whole of Morocco at that moment. Despite being separated by long distance, our relationship blossomed. We called, we texted, we even FaceTimed. Later in the year, I wrote my final board exams and graduated from high school. A year later, I had to choose between college education or pursuing football full-time because I had just gotten a club trial offer in France. I decided on football and called Jamila to tell her about it. She was very happy for me and was excited at the progress I was making in my footballing career. She, however, pointed that she would have loved if both of us went to the same college because that way it would be easier for us rather than being in different continents, worlds apart from each other. Guys, it wasn't a little issue. We talked about this issue from that very time till when I would actually leave Morocco for France. I remember at the international airport in Rabat, I kept on trying to allay her fears by assuring her that despite traveling abroad, I wasn't going to forget her. But babe, you know who would look much better when we are together in the same place, she said, whimpering. I smiled. I held her hand and pulled her closer. Everything will be fine, babe. You've just got to trust me. I won't forget you no matter what happens. I will definitely come back for you, I assured her, pulling her into my embrace. How long will it take? She asked, looking straight and deep into my eyes. Don't keep me waiting forever, babe, she said, her eyes misty with tears. I won't, sweetheart, I promise, I said, kissing her forehead. Soon, my flight number was announced via the loudspeaker and I had to join the other passengers in boarding the airplane. It tore my heart to see her cry. It was like we would never see each other again. I fought very hard not to cry too. And even as the plane took off, I kept thumbing over the necklace, rubbing over the pendant. J for Jamila, J for Jamila, J for Jamila. I repeatedly muttered to myself. Whew. 3 years down the line, guys, it's 2022 and I am doing fine. I got signed to a club in France and playing good football. I'm having the best time of my life. Watching the World Cup qualifier from the comfort of my home in Montreal, I screamed with delight as my country knocked out Congo and qualified for World Cup 2022. You see, I danced happily around my house because it was like a dream come true. And just last week, I made inquiries about tickets to the matches in Qatar. Unfortunately, they were already on sale. So I bought tickets for 6 matches in hope that Morocco makes it to the final. Yeah, Morocco can make it to the final, why not? Anything is possible. Have a little faith, people. I also bought 2 business class tickets from Emirates Airlines, for a flight from Rabat to Qatar. And I scheduled the flight for November when the World Cup would officially begin. I enclosed the flight tickets and the match tickets in a parcel and sent them via FedEx to Casablanca, where Jamila is currently studying nursing in one of the universities. I captioned the parcel Hayya Hayya. We are better together, J baby, now and forever. And right now, as I make these videos. I simply can't wait to see you, Jamila. I don't know if you're listening to me, but this is coming from the love of your life, Jamal Fakani.